20 prestigious PhD scholarships from around the world, along with their websites, brief details, and tentative deadlines. Fulbright Foreign Student Program. Fully funded scholarships for international students to pursue PhD studies in the United States. Tentative deadlines vary by country, typically between May and October. Rhodes Scholarship. Fully funded scholarships for postgraduate studies at the University of Oxford. Tentative deadline varies by country, typically in September, October. Gates Cambridge Scholarship. Full-cost scholarships for PhD studies at the University of Cambridge. Tentative deadline. Applications open in September and close in December. Chevening Scholarship. UK government scholarships covering full tuition fees, living expenses, and travel costs for PhD studies in the UK. Tentative deadline. Applications open in August and close in November. Marie Sklodowska-Curie Actions. European Union-funded scholarships for international students to pursue doctoral studies in various fields across European universities. Tentative deadlines vary depending on the specific fellowship program. DAAD scholarships. Range of scholarships for international students to pursue PhD studies in Germany. Tentative deadlines vary by scholarship program, typically between August and October. Commonwealth Scholarship and Fellowship Plan. Scholarships for students from Commonwealth countries for PhD studies in the UK. Tentative deadlines vary by country, typically between September and December. Erasmus Mundus Scholarships. Scholarships for international students to pursue joint or dual doctorate degrees in European universities. Tentative deadlines vary depending on the specific Erasmus Mundus program. Chinese Government Scholarship. Fully funded scholarships for international students to pursue PhD studies at Chinese universities. Tentative deadlines vary by country, typically between January and April. Australia Awards Scholarships. Funded by the Australian government, these scholarships support international students for PhD studies in Australia. Tentative deadlines vary by country, typically between January and April. Swiss Government Excellence Scholarships. Fully funded scholarships for international students to pursue PhD studies at Swiss universities. Tentative deadlines vary depending on the specific scholarship program and the Swiss university. Vanier Canada Graduate Scholarships. Prestigious scholarships for doctoral studies in Canada, supporting both Canadian and international students. Tentative deadlines vary by Canadian university, typically between October and November. Japan Society for the Promotion of Science, JSPS, Fellowship. Scholarships for international students for research stays and PhD studies in Japan. Tentative deadlines vary depending on the fellowship category. Korean Government Scholarship Program, KGSP. Scholarships for international students to pursue PhD studies in South Korea. Tentative deadlines vary by country, typically between January and March. Commonwealth Shared Scholarships. UK government scholarships supporting students from developing Commonwealth countries for PhD studies in the UK. Tentative deadlines vary by country, typically between December and February. Erasmus Plus Joint Doctorate Program. Scholarships for international students to pursue joint or double doctorate degrees across European universities. Tentative deadlines vary depending on the specific Erasmus Plus program. New Zealand International Doctoral Research Scholarships, NZIDRS. Fully funded scholarships for international students to pursue PhD studies in New Zealand. Tentative deadlines vary, typically between August and November. Swedish Institute Scholarships for Global Professionals, SISGP. Scholarships for international students to pursue PhD studies in Sweden. Tentative deadlines vary, typically between December and January. Eiffel Excellence Scholarship Program. Scholarships funded by the French government supporting international students for PhD studies in France. Tentative deadlines vary depending on the French higher education institution. Commonwealth PhD scholarships for least developed countries. UK government scholarships for students from least developed Commonwealth countries for PhD studies in the UK. Tentative deadlines vary by country, typically between December and February. Please note that the mentioned deadlines are approximate and subject to change. It's essential to visit the respective scholarship websites for the most accurate and up-to-date information regarding deadlines, eligibility criteria, and application procedures.